Welcome to another video on my Raspberry Pi 3 combined with the PiXtend PLC. PLC is a programmable logic control, in other words an industrial computer with several interfaces such as serial interface and a digital interface and CAN bus and pulses modulation, analog, etc. The Raspberry Pi runs Raspberry Linux, special version of it, specially adapted to the PiXtend. And as you can see, the serial interface is connected to a cable which ends up on a computer. The digital interface, digital interface 0, as an input is connected to this circuit. And everything programmed so far in Python. Here connected to an oscilloscope and more probes to be attached. In the last few episodes I've been focused on RS232 communication, serial communication, with a problem that it is one way only seemingly, which is not entirely correct, but more about that later. And as you can see, a very simple circuit connected to 5 volts. This is 12 volts, 12 volt input for the PiXtend, and via the PiXtend 5 volt to the Raspberry Pi. Here this circuit needs a separate power, so 5 volts here and then as input. And the rest I better show you via software screen. So let's go there. Right. Last time I connected this for the first time, and let's go back one step and introduce my screen. So camera view, VNC via this network cable, which shows then the Python code using serial library, PiXtend library, time and input output. Terminal for for running the Python code and minicom, not yet started. Let me name this one. This is my SSH terminal to get things started. This is my minicom terminal, and this is of course oscilloscope. More about that in a bit. And my Octave scientific code to read, and in this case write from the serial interface. Okay, back to where I started. Camera, and let's enlarge this. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that when I started this, I got a very weird signal. That weird signal you can also see now here, right? This one. It's the blue line of what's left of it, and the signal is way too much, because if you read here, the blue cell is 5 volts. This is exceeding 5 volts, which is very strange, because it is coming from here. If I put the probe instead of here or here, it's 5 volts. But this signal. So let me put a multimeter which is set to the maximum scale of 30 volts. Then put the red probe, of course, here into red, and the black probe into black. See what happens? It rests at 5 volts, which means that this power is supplying 5 volts. So any other voltage level than 5 volts is incorrect. So considering that, looking here, why is this? First of all, not a straight 5 volts line, but also a larger line than 5 volts. It does not make any sense. This makes no sense at all either, because this is no signal like you should have with such an interface. So let me, and then another thing, here is some weird thing going in the minicom terminal. And if you have seen the other my previous videos on this, you know that when I type in here, it will appear in here, but not vice versa. So another proof of that. And yes, the TX transmit has been put on the probe. So this won't be visible but seeable. Let me put this probe to, I'm making a mistake by the way. It's not this one I should have, it is this one I should have. That's much better. So ground gives a very weird signal. I am now connecting ground, no, receive signal. Right, so this is better, although not quite correct either. No, that should be 10 volts. This is slightly better. It's receive, yes. So, but this is strange because this gives now a continuous signal. Let me put the wire deeper into the connector. This doesn't make sense because there's no signal yet. I may have to recalibrate the oscilloscope, by the way. There's no signal. It should be a flat line. Anyway, going the other way, nothing is happening. So this is very weird. Anyway, and I think before going on with the digital interface again, I should do something with the oscilloscope because this is not going to help. Alright, Two things. I tried to recalibrate the oscilloscope and that didn't work out as I had hoped. First of all, the line is right here at -5, although it's -10 actually. And after, like I can show you, after putting the ground crocodile beak to the ground here, I get at least a solid signal, and you can see here a program running which actually writes data, and you can see here data being sent. Also on the other side, other data is being sent, so it's sent back and forth. Then the purple line is, as you can see, from the digital circuit. Now I am wondering about this switch, because if I press this, digital 0 stays off. So I have taken a Vistechnic switch. Didn't mean to, but I've got to try something. And then, to my surprise, measuring it, and let me try to show you. So another try with the multimeter. And now it is open and I close it, or try to anyway. And it doesn't cooperate right now. And you can see what I see. It is set to 30 volts and I get an impossible value. Really impossible. And note that these wires are anything but reliable. But at least it shows. Get rid of it. At least it shows that there is something very weird going on. So it is 5 volts, but why do I get a weird signal? And I still doubt the fact that on digital 0, digital input 0, I get the signal that I get. It doesn't make sense. Normally, when you have a digital signal and in a range from 0 to 5 volts, you have, say, 0 to 2 volts or 2.5 volts is 0, and 2.5 volts to 5 volts is 1. When you look at this signal, it's very quickly, and at a time base of 1 millisecond. And look at this, it's alternating very quickly. So that's not really trustworthy. And then you can say, alright, it regards it as off. It says 5 volts. So what happens if I just put it straight to the 5 volts? It is 5 volts anyway, and this, the jumper is set to 5 volts, so that should be fine. Let's try it. I won't try it. And even now Let me just go on. It says digital 0 is off. So even more to doubt. What more can you do? To be honest, not a clue anymore. I will get this here. See, and this is on the front side of the switch. Yellow wire leading here, the button, switch, whatever, and the signal goes nowhere and everywhere. Let me wire up to ground, say. There's not really ground though. Press 5 volts. No, it's not 5 volts even, it is 3 volts something. But still nothing on the digital switch. On the digital input. Which is remarkable. So, what to do, where to go? And then even a bit weirder, the same probe but connected differently. So now I have the purple probe connected to the same yellow wire, which is connected to this side, to the power supply side of the switch, but I now have here a wire straight into ground. And now when you look at the oscilloscope, it is a solid 5 volts. So if I now start measuring with another probe that I am right now going to connect to the other side, and also to that same thing, what will happen then? 5 volts. But what will happen to the red signal? And see, you can now clearly see the result of the button being pressed, giving 5 volts. Still, digital 0 is off. So that may be something with the declaration, although I got this from an example that seemingly worked. And it doesn't error on it. So there is still something that I doubt. It doesn't error on digital in, or should I open it? Another interesting question. Let me search for that one, because all other things I have to open. Well, looking into the document which handles the PiXtend library, it is officially called digital input, digital underscore input, and then a number, in this case 0. So digital input, digital 1 underscore input 0. Yes, I renamed it. Should be correct. Should be usable. However, as you can see by me pressing the switch and on the oscilloscope says yes, it is very much in working order, and there is on screen nothing that says digital 0 is on, it is receiving anything. So no, that doesn't work. So what else can be done? I can of course use digital output as well to check on it, because it says there's a digital output as well. The question is only where is it, and I assume that as soon as anything is ready that one of these LEDs start burning. But in the software it should be visible as well. What I can also do as a check is switch on a relay. One of the relays I can put on as soon as digital input is on. So let me say relay 0 is P, relay 0, last time I used PX Auto tool to verify that that worked, and it did. So let me say relay auto is 1, relay 0 is 1. I hope that will work. So, oh wait, since it is every time 0, this is no use. So let me do it different. Then I have to use another relay as well. Relay, assuming that it is relay 1, wait. With digit 1 you will never be wrong, I think. P relay 2. So relay 2 is 1, then a delay of 1 second, and relay 2 is off, and then the same thing for this one. Assuming that is correctly set. Delay is not defined. Time sleep, of course. When you work with multiple variations of languages, this may happen. And this is not working because it is off and yet it's not switching. So I have to check the documentation. Alright, apart from a small typo in here, the documentation tells me I'm doing alright with relays, and which actually does start with relay 0 to 2 to 3. So I should be alright with this, and assigning a value should work. So I should hear one relay being open and closed. Except that it doesn't. Including a time sleep. Yeah, that the time sleep is being dealt with. But the rest isn't. So let me quit this and go to PX Auto. Then where are the relays? Here are the relays. Relay 0. Yeah. Okay, true. Yep. False. Yep. So, number 1. Yep, clearly. So, it does work. Question, why doesn't it work in the software? Big question. It says it should work like this. And there's no way to actually open the delay because there's no function open in this one, in a digital input. So I would expect now a closing and opening relay, which isn't there. Apart from that, I am missing the serial signals by now. Not quite sure why. And I haven't at all checked on this one. Let me use this and see whatever happens. Is this running? No, it's not. So there should be something happening. And by all means I should open minicom. Yes, something is happening here, and you see very much activity here, but it is once again into or towards the PiXtend and not vice versa. And why is keyboard hit not working? Anyway, I'm afraid that's it for now. Considering time, I have to wrap. But as yet, more questions than answers. And with all this, I say thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment or suggestion. Always welcome, very much appreciated. You can also follow me via Instagram and Twitter. Please show your support by making a donation via either PayPal or Wired, which is banking. And you can also become a patron, and depending on the pledge, may have your name mentioned. All information on my website. See under this video. On my website also much more information on my projects and event pictures and name it. For now, this is to be continued, clearly, obviously. Have a nice day and bye bye.